Hello friends and welcome to Unacademy UPSC Current Affairs and welcome to the current Polity of the Day series, and I am myself Joicy Joy who will be presenting it for you. So let's get started. Today we will be discussing about the Disaster Management Act of 2005, a very important topic. Now if we talk from 2020, that is the very latest mains examination which is already going on, in the GS paper 3, which contains the syllabus for disaster management as well, there were a lot of questions from disaster management this year. So very important. Let's get started. Disaster Management Act of 2005. Okay. So before we get started, a little bit about the courses that we provide at Unacademy. We are providing batches for 2021, 22 and 23 aspirants. So we have 6 months batch course, 1 year. 6 months is short term batch course for UPSC CSE 2021. Apart from that, we also have 1 year and 2 year courses, and we also have NCERT batches which will cover your NCERT syllabus for the UPSC CSE Prelims. And this is regarding the combo courses that we provide at Unacademy. So combo courses, it comes with your optionals and the GS subscription. So GS, either you can go for iconic subscription or you can go for a plus subscription. So if you are opting for an iconic subscription and optionals, the 12-month subscription comes at 88,705, 24-month subscription at 1,31,510, and 36-month subscription at 1,67,220. This is regarding the plus courses and the optionals. So 12-month subscription comes at 70,103, 24 months at 99,680, and 36 months at 1,21,200. You can use my referral code. This is my referral code Joicy10, and you will be getting an extra 10% discount. And this is regarding the iconic price hike. So we are soon to announce a price hike for iconic subscription. You can get your subscription at the earliest, and these are the additional features that you get on your iconic subscription apart from your plus subscription. So you will be able to connect with your personal coach. There will be mains test series along with evaluation, customized study planner, study booster sessions, high intensity workshops, daily answer writing practice, and preparation of daily content. Now if you are getting subscribed for either the plus courses or the iconic courses, you can use my code. This is my referral code Joicy10, Joicy10. You will be getting an extra 10% discount. So let's come to the National Disaster Management Act. Let's first understand what is the current affair related to the Disaster Management Act. India delivered relief supplies including dignity kits containing hygiene and sanitary items and sleeping mats to Fiji for the cyclone affected families. So the current affair is regarding the aid extended by India. To Fiji for the cyclone affected families. The relief supplies from India were handed over by the AHC SUA to the Minister for Defence and Disaster Management. The Disaster Risk Reduction and Management, it's an important pillar of India's Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in November 2019. So this is Disaster Risk Reduction and Management. This is an important pillar of India's Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative. So the countries, especially the smaller countries around the Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean. So the Prime Minister had announced the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, that is to help the smaller countries in the Indo-Pacific Ocean region. So disaster risk reduction and management, this was one of the important pillars of the India's Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative, which was announced by Prime Minister Modi in 2019. India remains committed to extend full support to Fiji's efforts to restore the livelihoods of the affected communities and build a resilient infrastructure. So, India has already given its commitment, promised its commitment towards helping the small countries, not just small countries, the countries in the Indo-Pacific region, and especially the small countries. And this is a part of that initiative. So, disaster risk reduction and management, disaster management and disaster risk reduction, this is an important pillar of this initiative. Now coming to Disaster Management Act of 2005. Very important. It's a very important mains topic. Disaster Management Act of 2005. It came into force in India in January 2006. So Disaster Management Act of 2005, it came into force in India in January 2006, and the purpose or the objective is to manage disasters, including the preparation of mitigation strategies and capacity building. So purpose is to manage disasters, that is disaster management, and this includes preparation of mitigation strategies and capacity building. It provides for efficient and effective management of disasters and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. So the NDMA, National Disaster Management Act of 2005, the Act provides for effective management of disasters, how to manage the disasters, and also matters related to disasters. It enjoins the central government to constitute a national executive committee to assist the national authority. So it joins with the central government, and it constitutes a national executive committee in order to assist the national authority. All the state governments are mandated to establish a State Disaster Management Authority, SDMA. So all the state governments, they are mandated to establish a State Disaster Management Authority. So according to the NDMA, National Disaster Management Act, at the state level there should be a SDMA, that is State Disaster Management Authority also. Now coming to NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, it's the apex authority, that is the highest authority at the national level. It's the highest authority or the apex authority. It's also a statutory body. What is meant by a statutory body? Statutory body means a body which has the backing, a legal backing, or a statutory backup. A legal backup or a statutory backup. So it's an apex statutory body which acts, National Disaster Management Act, NDMA. It gets the legal backing from National Disaster Management Act for disaster management in India. It's the apex body which lays down policies, plans, guidelines for disaster management to ensure timely and effective response to disasters. So it lays down various policies, plans, guidelines, etc. for disaster management in order to ensure timely and effective response. That is, whenever there is a disaster or whenever we witness a disaster, timely and effective response should be taken. It also provides for coordinating response to natural and man-made disasters. So the disasters can be broadly divided into natural disasters and man-made disasters. So it provides for coordination of response for both natural disasters and man-made disasters. What are some examples of natural disasters? Cyclone, floods, all these are natural disasters. Man-made disasters like fire, such examples, man-made because of human activities, anthropogenic activities. So it provides for coordinated response for natural disasters and man-made disasters. Also for capacity building in disaster, resiliency and crisis response. So capacity building in disaster resiliency and crisis response, responding during a crisis. The vision is to build safer and disaster resilient India by holistic, proactive, technology driven and sustainable development strategy that involves all the stakeholders and fosters a culture of prevention, preparedness and mitigation. So vision is to build a safer and disaster resilient India. That is to build a safer India. Safer means free from disasters or minimum disasters, and disaster resilient India. How? Holistic approach, proactive and technology driven sustainable development strategy should be taken up, and involving all stakeholders. That means an inclusive approach. Inclusive approach which includes all the stakeholders and fosters a culture of prevention, preparedness and mitigation. Now these are the functions and responsibilities of the Disaster Management Authority. First one is to approve the National Disaster Plan. So the National Disaster Plan is approved by the Disaster Management Authority. Please do not confuse. So the National Plan, National Disaster Plan will be approved by Disaster Management Authority. It also lays down policies on disaster management. So policies regarding disaster management is also laid down by the Disaster Management Authority. It lays down guidelines to be followed by state authorities in drawing up state plan. So to draw state plans, so it helps or it provides guidelines to the state authorities, because as we have seen under the Disaster Management Acts, it's mandatory that the states also should have a disaster management authority at the state level, that is State Disaster Management Authority. It lays down guidelines to be followed by state authorities in drawing up state plan. It lays down guidelines to be followed by different ministries or departments of the central government for the purpose of integrating measures for disaster prevention or mitigation or its effects in the development plans and projects. So it also lays down guidelines to be followed by different ministers and departments. Apart from guidelines given to the state authorities, it gives guidelines to the state authorities also to draw state plans. But apart from that, it also gives guidelines to various ministries, various departments, etc. for integrating measures for disaster prevention or mitigation. It also coordinates the enforcement and implementation of policies and plans. Disaster management related policies and plans are enforced and implemented by this authority. It also recommends provision of funds for the purpose of mitigation. So it also recommends regarding the provision of funds regarding mitigation, and provides such support to other countries affected by major disasters as determined by central government. This is very important. So how much support or whatever support is given by the central government to the other countries. Now as we have seen the case of Fiji, so central government will decide what assistance should be given to other countries which has been affected by disasters. So such support has to be provided by the Disaster Management Authority. It also takes such other measures for prevention of disasters or mitigation or preparedness, capacity building for dealing with threatening disaster situation or disaster as it may consider necessary. So measures for prevention of disasters, mitigation, preparedness, capacity building, etc. Also, it lays down broad policies and guidelines for functioning of National Institute of Disaster Management. So it also provides policies and guidelines for the working of or the functioning of the National Institute of Disaster Management. National Institute of Disaster Management. Now coming to the National Executive Committee, the Act empowers the central government to create a National Executive Committee to assess the National Disaster Management Authority. As we know, the National Disaster Management Authority, this is the apex body, highest body or the highest authority or the apex body. So, according to the Act, the central government can create a National Executive Committee. The purpose of National Executive Committee is to assess the National Disaster Management Authority, NDMA. So, Executive Committee, National Executive Committee will be assisting the NDMA, which is the apex body. NEC consists of secretary level officers of the government in the Home, Health, Power, Finance and Agricultural Ministries. So, NEC or National Executive Committee, it consists of secretary level officers. So, it consists of secretary level officers of the government in the Home Ministry, Health Ministry, Power Ministry, Finance Ministry and Agriculture Ministry. So the members of NEC is drawn from various ministries and those secretaries who work in various ministries. And NEC is also responsible for preparation of National Disaster Management Plan for the whole country. So it is also responsible for the preparation of National Disaster Management Plan. Why? Because the purpose of NEC is to assist the NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority. Now, State Disaster Management Authority. Now, the very purpose of State Disaster Management Authority is very similar to NDMA, but it works at the state level. So, here the SDMA, State Disaster Management Authority, is responsible for drawing disaster plan for respective states. For various states. It draws plans for various states. The SDMA, State Disaster Management Authority, it consists of Chief Minister who will be the chairperson, because NDMA, the chairman is Prime Minister. So, State Disaster Management Authority, chairman is the Chief Minister and 8 members appointed by the Chief Minister. So, CM as the chairman or chairperson and 8 other members who will be appointed by the Chief Minister. It ensures that all the departments of the state prepare disaster management plans as prescribed by national and state authorities. So, SDMA or State Disaster Management Authority ensures that all the departments of the state prepare disaster management plans as prescribed by the state authorities and the national authorities. Now, District Disaster Management Authority. The chairperson of the District Disaster Management Authority will be the collector, that is the district collector or the district magistrate or deputy commissioner of the district. So, district magistrate, deputy commissioner or the district collector will be the chairperson of the District Disaster Management Authority. Okay, question, which list? Actually, there is no mention of disaster management as a subject in the 3 list. Okay, so as a subject, it is not mentioned in any of the list. Now, National Disaster Response Team. So, NDRF or the National Disaster Response Team. It is tasked with responding to a threatening disaster or a situation similar to it. So, National Disaster Response Team, it has to provide the respond. The purpose is to respond to a threatening disaster or such a similar situation. It's led by Director General appointed by the central government. So, the NDRF, National Disaster Response Force, it's headed by the Director General appointed by the central government. So, this is regarding the different institutional setups or the different institutions under the NDMA, National Executive Committee, which will be guiding the NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority. We also have State Disaster Management Authority. We have District Disaster Management Authority and National Disaster Response Force. So, this is it, and today we will not be having special class on Plus platform. Okay, so tomorrow onwards we will resume special classes. So, thank you so much for watching, and please do join my Telegram channel and please do follow me on Unacademy if you are not yet following, so that you will be notified whenever there is a special class that I schedule. Thank you so much. Thank you Ankit, Preetam, Bhavik, Kartish. So, thank you everyone, and stay blessed. Good night. Bye-bye.